Thank you for watching this video. Please remember, like and subscribe, and join my Patreon if you want to help to support the channels. The link is always in the description. And thank you once again for choosing to watch this video. To all my fans and my haters, enjoy. I want to actually do something that's a little bit more personal today. So if you guys can suffer with me on this one, I want to actually address this. So we're going to actually cover this, and it's going to be a little, you guys got to work with me on this one, okay? Because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. And okay. So I like to play video games. I do. I like to play video games. I enjoy playing motherfucking video games. I know Elden Ring is coming out soon. Horizon Zero Dawn is coming out. It came out last week. I didn't get a chance to buy it because I'm a broke bitch, and all of my money goes to food, electricity, gas, and rent. So when I can get some extra money, then I try to actually buy games. But right now, I don't have the extra money. And so what has been happening? Don't do that to me. Don't do it. Because I really want to play it. And I've been seeing the reviews and stuff like that. And I know the story of Horizon Zero Dawn. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. And aside from the shit that Sony pulled, and I still like Sony, but I will call them out on their shit. I can go on a PS4 and actually pay $60 for the game, but if I go on a PS5, it's $70. Yeah, the shit that they're pulling right there, yeah, that's kind of a low blow. Stargazer, I am. I actually haven't been able to game that much. One of the things, and this is the reason why I wanted to pull this out. This is the reason why I want to pull this up, is I went back and found the article, and this is not just for gaming. This is actually for how we treat work right now. Now I've been getting into some spirited conversations with people, and what is really, really bad are the way we treat work. And I know it. I get it. A lot of people think, oh, you got to work hard. Every job sucks and fuck that. And the way we treat work. And quite frankly, guys, it's fucked up. Now, this is an article that was around since fucking 2005. This article has been around since 2005. And let's just take a look at it. All right. Why crunch mode doesn't work. 6 lessons. 2005. This was done. This article was done. It's 17 years ago. And this is how long we've known that crunch is fucked up. So, executive summary. When used long-term, crunch mode slows development and creates more bugs when compared to with 40-hour weeks. More than a century of studies show that long-term useful workers' output is maximized near a 5-day, 40-hour work week. Productivity drops immediately upon starting overtime and continues to drop until apparently 8 60-hour weeks. The total work is done and is the same as it would have been done in 8 4-hour weeks. In short term, working over 24 hours continuously is equivalent to being legally drunk. Longer periods of continuous work drastically reduce cognitive functions and increases the chances of catastrophic error. In both short and long term, reducing sleep hours as little as 1 hour nightly can result in severe decrease in cognitive ability, sometimes without workers perceiving the decrease. Now, this is actually a study, and it is long, and I don't know what if I'm gonna make it through the whole thing, but this is kind of a personal thing for me. So, see, for long, for so long, I was actually on my old job before the one I switched to. I was doing 60-hour weeks for no other reason because they couldn't find coverage. And when you would bring this up, that shit was just, it was fucking frustrating because what they would say is for the good of the business, for business needs and shit like that. And it's just like once you hit wall, and you guys probably know it, once you hit wall hour number 7 at your job, it's like hitting a fucking wall. And at that point, you're not really productive. You're just like, oh fuck, God, let me get the fuck off. And that shit is fucked up because we know how it fucking affects us. And so let's go here. Introduction. In the aftermath of the EA Spouse post on LiveJournal, quality of life conversations in the game development businesses have taken on a new life and new urgency. EA Spouse received thousands of comments to her original post, followed quickly by major media coverage. Thousands of people around the net participated in a vast, spontaneous discussion that explored issues like mandatory overtime, productivity, job portability, laziness, unionization, lawsuits, and the general evil of corporations. Now, if you don't know what the EA Spouse no. Now, Joe, just to say what I'm about to say, the only crunch that I like is Crunchyroll, where you can actually get anime live from Japan. Either they're not sponsoring me, but EA Spouse actually wrote a letter, and if you don't know what the letter is, it was specifically about how their spouse was not around. And this is a letter that's been around for about 17 years. And the fact that we're still having this conversation lends not only to the fucking gaming industry, but so many fucking industries around us. So let's actually just go into it. I've spent 20 years developing and managing software projects. Every year that's passed, and every project that I worked on fueled my growth. My growing conviction that crunch mode is grossly destructive, expensively inefficient. It's a common sense that more hours people work, the less productive they become. But over time, I noticed that the productivity loss that resulted from working too many extra hours started taking a bigger toll faster than most software managers realize. As I dug around, I was stunned to discover that I was hardly the first one to figure this out. My observations have been common knowledge among the industry engineers for almost a century. I've amassed a personal collection of source information over the past 15 years. This summary mainly includes information that you can readily find on the web. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to be able to go out and read the original source yourself. Yeah. Yeah, that's the fucking thing about it. They know this. They know this. They know that this is a problem, but nobody wants to be the first one. I'm at a fucking new job right now. And some of the practices that they have are fucking ridiculous. That leads to turnover. Now, I don't have to work mandatory overtime, technically, but there are times where I would have to work. You guys may not see it. I might have to work a day on a weekend, and so to compensate for the hours that I miss on the weekend day, I'm gonna have to work 9 hours or 8.5 hours. And it's just like, it's. So let's go into the history, shall we? History. In 1908, almost a century ago, industrial efficiency pioneer Ernest Abe published in the Yosemite Obligation his conclusions that a reduction in the daily work hours from 9 to 8 resulted in an increase in total daily output. Nor was he the first to notice this. William Matter had adopted an 8-hour day at the Stanford Iron Works in 1893. In 1909, Sidney J. Chapman published The Hours of Labor, in which he described the long-term variation in workplace productivity as a function of hours worked per day. His conclusions was discussed in some details below. When Henry Ford famously adopted the 40-hour work week in 1926, he was bitterly criticized by members of the National Association of Manufacturers, but his experiments, which had been conducted for the last 12 years, showed him clearly that cutting the workday from 10 hours to 8 hours and the work week from 6 days to 5 days increased the total worker output and reduced production costs. Ford spoke glowingly of the social benefits of a shorter work week, crouched firmly in terms of how increased time for consumption was good for everybody, but the core of his argument was that the reduction in shift length meant more output. Now. Far be it from me to praise Henry motherfucking anti-Semitic Ford ass, but yeah, I know. Like Henry Ford was okay. Henry Ford was a gigantic piece of shit, but he recognized something, and this is the most reductive way you can actually say it. You give people money, and you give people time off the shop, and guess what they fucking buy? And yes, Henry Ford is a gigantic piece of shit. So, fuck Henry Ford. But, he gave us two things. The modern assembly line and, a 40-hour work week. It's a shame that, he fought against unions, so fuck him. And, unintentionally caused the downfall of the Rust Belt because he made shit easier to produce, which was good. And also made it easier to... Thank you. But yeah, no, he was... Yeah, because Ford, fuck him. So, I have found more studies conducted by businessmen, university, industry associations, and the military that support the basic notion that for most people, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week is the best suitable long-term balance point between output and exhaustion through the 30s, 40s, and 50s. These studies were apparently conducted by hundreds by the 1960s. The benefits of a 40-hour work week were accepted almost beyond question by corporate America. And in 1962, the Chamber of Commerce even published a pamphlet extolling the productivity gains of reduced hours. But somehow, Silicon Valley didn't get the memo. EA Spouts writes, current mandate hours from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week, with the occasional Saturday evenings off for good behavior, 6:30. Thus, this average is out to about 85 hours. Oh, wow. 85-hour work weeks. Wow. Fuck EA, man. Fuck EA. Damn. You get one company working their employees to death and the other one sexually harassing them to death. Hello, Activision Blizzard. Actually working from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 days a week plus 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. 1 day a week comes out to 87.5 hours a work week. But after that, many hours, who's counting, right? Who's counting? Yeah, 80-hour work weeks, man. Fuck them. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm using a lot of fuck bombs in this in this video. Electronic Arts is no different from many high-end tech companies in this regard. For them and anyone who wants to increase their employees' productivity and sanity, let's take a look at some of the assumptions management makes regarding hours, outputs, efficiency, and productivity costs, and see how a century of industrial research has consistently proven those assumptions wrong. Now, in other words, they're just paying people a salary and they end up making less than minimum wage for the salary that they're making. But yeah. What management is trying to achieve when it sends employees off on death marches. We honestly believe that the CEO of EA is happy that people are in the office 24 hours a day working their asses off. Oh, do we honestly believe that the CEO of EA is happy that people are in the office 24 hours a day working their ass off? Hello, fucking Andrew Wilson. Sorry. Management wants to achieve maximum output from this employee. They want to produce a good product as cheaply as possible. They also want to avoid hiring extra resources that increase the cost of the finished goods unless absolutely necessary. On the surface of it, crunch mode looks like the most obvious and logical way to reconcile these two desires. Assuming output can be measured in discrete units, a manager who hasn't read the research may reason that if someone produces, say, 16 units of output in 8 hours, they should produce 18 units of units in 9 and 20 units in 10 hours. They express that view as a simple equation that they can write, and there's the equation. Whereas 0 is the total output, X is the given duration of the benchmark number of hours, Y is defined by Y, and T is the actual number of hours works. The hypothetical situation is that increased time T is a simple way to increase output, which we know that is fucking stupid. The assumption that may be valid in a limited case where hours of work are extended over a brief period, for example, to meet a looming deadline, but research and long experiences in other industries have shown that the limits to such overtime spurts are reached sooner than most people realize. And when those limits are reached, the spurts turns into bogs. Oh, excuse me, guys. More realistic views of worker output would take into account the changes in hourly output that results from a change in length of the workday. Those changes results mainly from two sources: simple physical and mental fatigue that occurs in the later hours of a long day, and accumulated physical and mental fatigue that builds up over an extended period of long work days. The more complex view can be represented by the following equation. So, this kind of stuff I studied while getting my MA in economics in the University of Chicago, but didn't turn into Milton Friedman Chicago boys who palled around with Pinochet. Of course, look, this is a fucking thing about it. So, the fucking Freeman boys, Milton Friedman and his son who's trying to continue that shit, they fucked over a pretty okay system. Like, you can say, and I know my Marxians in the chat and who will listen to this video would probably hate the whole Keynesian economics thing. And I get it. If you were looking for the Marxist revolution, Keynesian economics didn't do enough for you. But Keynesian economics did do a lot for a lot of the middle class. And it wasn't everybody who benefited from it. I'm not going to sit back and lie and say it was everybody who's benefited from it. But if you had a question of asking me, do you want Keynesian economics right now, or do you want the bullshit that we have right now? Fuck, give me John. Come here, John Maynard Keynes. And plus, he was actually pretty socially liberal. If you don't know about the history and life of John Maynard Keynes, that motherfucker had some fun. I'm just saying, he had some fun. And yeah, we're going to leave it like that. Okay. So whereas O is the output, and the P represents the changes in hourly production that occurs over time. T1 minus Tn. This equation of P parentheses is a function, but not constant. P in the parentheses will vary by worker because some workers produce more than others. P would also vary by hour because humans are not machines. Wonder. I'm a sex machine ready to explode. I'm sorry. Like a rocket ship, I'm gonna go. Explode. Okay, I'm sorry. Because humans are not machines and do not want and do not exactly and do not do exactly the same amount of work of 14 of a job as they do in hour 14 of a job as they did in hour 1. Finally, people vary according to recent history of the worker because people don't work as well in the morning after a late night as they do in the morning after a good night's sleep. What? For real? Yeah. So this is how it looks now. Uh, so this is just going over it. Where's the break even? If productivity essentially decreases over a workday and working lots of hours results in a reduced productivity, how do we even establish a method to maximize total output and figure out where the break even is? Unfortunately, quantifying knowledge worker output is a hard problem. And I would love to be able to give a simple equation to you. You can plug in a few numbers and pull into the magic out of hours each person should work to maximize the output. I can't, because even when such equation finally exists, it would be impossible to find and agree on the basic numbers to plug into the common programming measures like lines and codes and functions points are either easy to collect and question the value of difficult to define and collect. Useful measures like number of bugs created and number of bugs fixed are viewed with suspicion that they may be used unfairly in annual reviews or gained by clever programs in anticipation of annual reviews or performance bonuses. So, lesson 2. Productivity is hard to quantify, of course. And I'm actually going to drop this in the chat. I don't want to have you guys just read this. Like, I want to give you guys homework. This is homework from me to you guys. Because what this is actually saying is we need to change our fucking way of life as far as how we treat work. And I'm sorry, guys. Like, if we don't fucking do this, we're already fucking stressed enough. We are already stressed enough. I'm fucking dealing with the stress. I literally am emotionally drained because of all the shit that's been going on. COVID, just changes in relationship and shit like that. If we don't do this, the fucking jokes or the fucking stigma that's hampering the next generation below us, the Zoomers, and I know I have some Zoomers in my audience, but the Zoomers and the late millennials, we're gonna be fucking neurotic messes by the time we turn fucking 50. I'm already there. So yeah, this is just the fucking type of thing that I want to actually make a point about. Sometimes my show is about like laughing at stupid motherfuckers. Sometimes I'm just talking about videos that I agree with. But this is one of my things. And if you don't want to live in a society where we're dictated by our work and our value isn't because of who we are versus what we produce, we need to actually address this. We need to actually get with our co-workers, speak about this shit, because if we don't, we will be fucking working ourselves to death. And it doesn't even help the business class because they will get less productivity out of us. Ask me how I know. Anyway. Yeah, this is just a video, topic I thought I'll actually cover. Because Yeah, it's really me throwing a fucking fit because I'm kind of pissed about it. I'm kind of pissed about it. So anyway, let's go on to a few more things. Ah, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, had to clear my nose for a second. All right, so this is a video that I want to actually address not too long ago, but in light of current situations, I feel that this was important. Now, I do know I have some people in my office. Yeah, of course that shit will fizzle out. Of course, of fucking course. I like that DC convo. Of course, it will figure out, and I fizzle out. Shit, like the U.S. is acting as if COVID doesn't exist anymore, even though fuck. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see this. Wait, quit playing. All right, let's look at this. Daily COVID US. All right, so this is actually what fucking kills me. Let's see if I can actually pull it up. So we are literally in 2022, and this is our daily death toll for COVID. Now here it dropped, but it's about $2,000 a day for the daily death tolls. And this story was actually put in February the 24th, so today. Yeah. Yeah. So excuse me if I don't think that the fucking pandemic is over, because thousands of people are dying today. And it's fucking crazy because thousands of people are still fucking dying today. So no, the U.S. is not living as if it's under fucking vaccine or mask mandate, because people are fucking still dying. And these whole, because look, that trucker convoy in Canada was never about masks. 90% of the truckers were fucking vaccinated. They were. The fact is, these right-wing militia motherfuckers wanted to see as a fucking opening. And in that process, fucking Trudeau asked for emergency powers. Not to send a fucking military in, which people will say, ooh, that's bad. They sent bankers in. And as we know, as we see currently right now, in another unrelated conflict, when you send military shit in, people protest. But if you send bankers, oh, that's quiet. That's neat. That's efficient. No, never fucking trust the government. Never trust the government to fucking take powers to quietly silence people. Never trust that shit. And I get it. People didn't want to see the cops or military go in there and smash heads. But I tell you one thing. If they had my skin condition, they would have went in there and smashed heads. No question. But they did it quiet and neat and closed bank accounts and froze bank accounts. No, fuck that. Look. Equal protection under the law, or equal protection from the law, or equal unprotection from the law. Go quiet shit. These motherfuckers weren't quiet when they was waking people up, going there with tear gas and bomb the shit out of them, like roach bomb, or like that, not actual, physical but issues like that. No. But shit, no, fuck that. Oh, we're gonna freeze their bank accounts and it's gonna look bad. No, fuck that. And you know what? That you're right, Joe. They were funded by those groups, but and I know the it's been made a point. What happens when they use the same thing for BLM protests? I don't want the government to have any of that power. I don't want the government to be able to freeze assets of anybody, whether I fucking believe in their cause or not. Because here's the fucking thing. We know what happened after the Patriot Act. We know what the NSA and all the other motherfuckers, Alphabet Boys, did. They were doing it. They were looking at the people who are petty. They were looking after their lovers, their spouses, their spouses' lovers. No, like, I don't trust the government with that much power. I fucking don't. I just call it me. I don't trust the government with that much power. Because the government are made of people, and that's great, but the people who go for those jobs now, it's self-selected for fucked up people. I just got on a rant. I'm sorry. My fault. I apologize.
If I gave myself the power